All right, welcome back to the Band Cave. I'm your host, Black Irish. Got a little short video for you today. This one is going to be about just the loneliness of women. It's going to be men in there too, but there's a reason why I'm focusing on women. Like, this is something that has been going on for quite some time. The men, but no one cared. Now that it's happening, the women and more women are more vocal about it. All of a sudden, we're a big deal about it. There's going to be another video after this, probably next week or the week after. I'm going to make a video about this, about how now it's making mainstream. So if the mainstream is catching it, it's not because they care, it's because they have to protect their assets. But let's get to this video, shall we?
I feel loneliness in my chest.
Just a heavy weight on your back.
My career has isolated me.
I don't have a partner. I don't have kids.
Right after I got married, people just fell away.
As a single parent,
then I retired.
My greatest fear is dying alone.
But it's a doozy loneliness. It's a bad one.
The feelings of loneliness and isolation that I feel stem from losing my dad to suicide at 12 years old.
I feel like I've always felt lonely. What did I do to run everybody else away? I feel like something that makes people scatter.
I feel like if I don't try to be successful, I'll always regret not having tried. My loneliness ends up kind of being my punishment.
Does everybody feel like this? There must be something wrong with me.
You're surrounded by people, but yet you're still feeling like you're not even around anybody.
I'm at this wedding and, kind of like on reflex, I open up my phone, I pull up a dating app and I start swiping. And then I look around and there's just so many people around me laughing and having a good time, just being loving with each other. Yeah, it was a moment of feeling deep loneliness.
You have any idea what that feels like? I know I was young. I know what it feels like. Your boy, even though the relationship didn't last, marriage didn't last, you felt like, how come he's getting something with you? What's wrong with you? Same way that you're dealing with your brother. He seems to get, he's doing better than you or appreciated by the family than you. And for me, I ended up just taking that and realizing that, well, if I can't be better, I'm just myself and make something for myself, regardless of what people thought. It's not always the best option, but sometimes it happens. Loneliness affects you so badly, it's not even funny. And men have been talking about this for so long, that loneliness that affects you, it affects the brain, it hurts you, destroys you. And you're sitting there hoping that someone will just talk to you. And there's no one to talk to. You go on to a Facebook or Instagram where you have to write something so extreme just to get attention from anyone as a guy. And you can go as a woman. Besides the fact you shake your ass or you do the same titty pop or whatever, women just gradually gravitate, and people just gravitate towards women. So that attention, they feel like that's the norm. The guy is you make something that's really cool or a nice video and get thumbs up. So men learn to just be lone wolves. Now women are talking about it and they don't know how to handle it. It's kind of like when Superman learned to adjust to his abilities, but Zod didn't know how to handle it first because he was just he had to learn how to home in on his senses so he can adapt to it, and he didn't know how to. That's exactly what we're going with men and women. Is that women don't know how to handle it, and their way they speak about it comes off as more as a sympathy than what a man would be saying. It's just pathetic.
You might try to do everything possible to find a life partner, but you might be single forever.
People cannot imagine that you'd be so lonely, that you would dread Thanksgiving and thinking gosh, I hope somebody invites me.
As a single parent, I feel like it's the most important and biggest thing I will ever do in life. And I just keep it to myself because there's no one to share it with.
I decided deliberately not to have children while all my close friends decided the opposite. And as they were focusing more and more of their time on family life, I became deprioritized.
I would have never.
Boss babe syndrome. That is personally the government and society painting a narrative, and you fell for it. They told you this is what you need, girlfriend. You don't need to get a family. That's secondary. Go get your degree, girl. Go get your career, girl. Get out there. You can do it, girl. And they did all this because, of course, because like many industrial, countries, what they want to do is get more butts in the buckets and ass in the seats. And what happens when a lot of those countries, that the rate of depression and loneliness, and not only that, but birth rates all plummet. Depression goes up, and birth rates go down, unfortunately. And so it becomes an epidemic because now we have to say we have to fix this because now there's not enough people to fill in the blanks for the next generation. Trust me, they don't give a damn. But she chose the boss babe life, put her children secondary. And I have met with people, I've talked to women who have done that, who talk all that good game, and you can't keep that up for as long as you want to. And then you start to see the depression in their eyes when they start realizing, like, I have my career, I have my house for myself, but no one to share it with. And the womanly instincts kick in. They start crying and getting upset because you weren't supposed to be doing this. No one's saying don't go for your career, but you got to understand what you're sacrificing. And if you can beat your biological clock, then more power to you, honey. But the honest truth is you start having resentment because those women who prioritize family but got a job at the same time, while you prioritize a career and not having kids, you're too old to have children, and now you're resenting it.
Never told you that I would work this many hours as I do, and I wouldn't have a group of friends surrounding me.
When my spouse comes home and she just kind of goes off into her corner, and she's the first person I want to talk to, and I'm the last person she wants to talk to.
I've been a single mom for almost 14 years, and I just sometimes feel like I want someone to reach out to me and take care of me.
Friends don't want to hear about how lonely I am.
It's just too much burden to put on.
You don't want to add to their burden
on other people. I've been trying to go to lunch with a colleague of mine on my campus for 8 years, and it still hasn't happened.
I thought I was building a family that was going to be close and connected and doing things together, and that hasn't happened.
I was important, right? I mattered to people. I thought I did. And then I retired, and the isolation was deafening.
I was.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You grow up you go in a business, you build yourself up in this business, you get the high position at this business. You are the person that everyone goes to get answers and to make things happen and things to go here, there, left, right, left, yada, yada, yada. And then you retire. And you get we'll stay in contact. No one stays in contact. Your company hires someone else, younger, more agile, more of a go-getter, that's willing to take their crap for that paycheck. Yeah, that's what happens. These businesses don't care about you. You're not important. You're as important as long as you can make them money. And outside of that, that's it. Sorry to say it, but most businesses, the employees will only care about you as long as you still work there. Most people wouldn't even know it's your birthday if you didn't have Facebook. Most people wouldn't even know your personal life unless you said something. The people who do matter to you will know all about that. And unfortunately, most people at your job don't know that.
Diagnosed with a very rare bone marrow cancer. I have had certain friends and family disappear from my life. Such a deep disappointment over those who abandon you.
The experience of cross-dressing and keeping it secret marked me with loneliness during my entire life.
You look at the time and you go, it's 3 o'clock.
I'm not even going to talk about that one.
And you have so much your day. And the phone doesn't ring. No one's connecting with you. And you wonder how you can make the day go by. For retirement, they used to tell you, it's the golden years. Well, how can it be golden if there's no one in it?
I start to feel as if this is my punishment for not having children.
Yep.
And I think when you see Ellen, in a sense, I find myself saying, you asked for it.
And she said, Bob.
I don't mean to cut up it, and I'm going to be as nice about this as possible. It's true. Men and women were designed to have children. They were designed to work hard so that the offspring didn't have to work hard, to teach them how things work, so that when they grow up, they will have all the things they will need in the future. But what we started doing was changing things that you don't need a husband. You can be bad by yourself. You can be a single mother. You can still get your career. You don't need to be with a man. And they taught these women this. They have destroyed the nuclear family so badly that not only do we not even know what a family is anymore, but our children's education is garbage, no matter what state you're in. The economy has gone to crap. And you have people here who are like depressed in their 60s and 70s saying, I wish I had kids. And these women who are younger don't care about that. They'll listen, but when they find the one person that says, well, it's all good, and as far as I'm concerned, they forget all of what happened. And those women become failures. And it's just a statistic that just on that goes on and on and on, my friends.
We've been married for 66 years, and we have so much to say to each other. Do you suppose other people married this long have so much to talk about? And the next night, she was gone.
It's the way.
Try to remember to pick up the phone. You have no idea how that unexpected phone call can change their day.
It's the children saying, Dad, I love you, and how are you? And it's also a good friend saying, Bob, I don't like the sound of your voice. I'm coming over. We're going to talk.
If I can get myself to pick up the phone and call somebody else will say, you know, I'm feeling exactly the same way. And then, poof, you're part of the human race again.
So I always wonder, do they feel this way because they've always felt this way, like we should treat each other, or only because you never expected it to happen to you, and now it's happening to you, and you're like, let's start treating it. But I don't want to say yes or no, but like, how many people actually really think about this? When you're lonely and you have no one to talk to, do you think about the people who don't have that? When you have everything, do you think about the people who don't have that luxury? That's a good question. Oh, hello. Silent Samurai 87. Looks like this is your birth year. Awesome. Thank you for joining the Man Cave. You guys are awesome. I don't know why it just popped up out of nowhere. And Marcus Davidson, thank you for joining the Man Cave. I was having a moment, trying to be sincere and not be jokey, but no, seriously, thank you for joining the Man Cave. So getting back to what I was saying, loneliness is a mental disease that affects everyone. And you no longer have that attention, you'll know what it feels like to be alone. No one cares about you. And the honest truth is, like I said, men have been dealing with this for so long that it's funny that we're making this a big deal now, because men have always been told, please up from your bootstraps, get big, get strong, you got this. No crying at baseball. And women are allowed to just say, I don't feel happy. Mind you, a woman can say, I feel depressed, I'm not wanted, I'm not liking, and people will gravitate towards her and say, I'm sorry you feel this way. But you be a man saying that, you sound weak, pathetic, and no one wants you. And that's the reason why. It's sad, but unfortunately, this is one of the problems that we have in society, that we don't realize this until it happens to women. And this is why men should work together. She was right. That woman was right. Before I sign up, I'm going to tell you that woman was right. You go to nursing homes. Those women can say, oh, all the lonely people who don't have someone to talk to, or all the men and the women do. That's a load of crap. Because any of my people who ever worked EMS, who have done basic transports in and out of nursing homes, know that's a load of crap. They are equally forgotten. The only ones where they're not forgotten are the ones where you spend a buttload of money to stay there and it's like a Holiday Inn. But those low grade places, Low grade places, usually no one wants them there. That's why when they lose all their money and they can't afford to live in the palace, they go down in the slums. And those places are where you are forgotten. Because if a family really did care about you, you'd be staying with them and they'll do the best they can to take care of you while you're at the house. Because that's what my wife does. She still has a grandmother that lives at the house and she takes care of him. Takes care of her, sorry. And that's what she does. Because down there, family is everything. Up here, family don't mean jack squat. You have money? Okay, cool. Did you build a good relationship? Cool. But just being a family member don't mean jack squat. Trust me, it affects all of us. But with that said and done, I'd like to say thank you for joining in. And this went on way longer than I expected to, but the man cave, like I say, you already know.